What's going on, guys? Blazing here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and thank you for joining me on another Raid Shadow Legends video. So today, I finally gave in, and I'm going to start farming the Shogun. I kind of need it. The power creep's getting kind of real between the accounts, so I need to, get my account in order and start pushing on it. I think up until now, I've probably cleared up to like stage 15, and then today I kind of got everything up to stage 25. But we are going to go over a free-to-play team, right? Everybody should be, or I want to say could be getting this done, depending if you have the champions or not. It is a full rare team. Now, I do want to say that I was not the original creator of this team. I did look it up on the optimizer. So yeah, we'll kind of go with that. Whoever created it, credit to you out there. Thank you very much. But I just want to showcase it so you guys can see and can kind of explain to you some of the things that I found to be a little bit difficult while working with this team. So let's get into it. All right, so we have just about the ultimate free-to-play team here, right? It's all rares, 100%. We have Noorn, we have Paradon, we have LiQWYD Tender, and we have double Coldhearts, right? So first things first, you're going to notice that the blessings were really high on the team, and you need to have them high, right? You need to be between a 3 to 4 stack. Lower than that, if you can make it up by having some champions on the team have higher, you should be okay. Ideally, if you have 2 that are, at least 5-star, you should be fine, right? And with everybody else having like a 1 or 2. But for general, work around everything, you want to make sure that you're at least a 3 to 4-star, right? Just to be safe. The reason for that is because the shade counter, you'll see right here, it was currently up to 13, and now it's down to 1. If the boss takes a turn and the shade counter is over 10, he's going to gain extra turn meter, and your run is going to fail. And that's mostly why you're looking at any failed runs, right? And it took a while for me to kind of get that under control. Ideally, I was trying to run it without Paradon, but it wasn't really working. Now, substitutions. Coldhearts could be substituted by any other enemy max HP or any other damage dealer you have, right? They're not necessary. LiQWYD Tender. She could be replaced by anybody that's got a 3-turn cooldown on a cleanse. So like a Mithrala, Pythion should work fine. Do not use a negative affinity healer, right? It will hurt you. It's going to build up the shade counters much quicker. As for Noorn could be changed. We're not really using his A3 or his A2. We're using his A1. So basically, if you bring in another damage dealer that's kind of negative affinity that can bring in some, poisons on the A1 or something, that could work for you. The only one that is a 100% must is Paradon. Mr. Cheese himself needs to be on the team, or else this composition can't work, right? But 2 minutes, 6 seconds, 2 minutes, 7 seconds, it looks like. No, it's making me a liar. Can we get it? 15? All right, there we go. 2 minutes, 16 seconds, and the run is done. So let me show you guys the builds along with the AI setup. Okay, so the AI setup is as follows. Noorn, we're basically doing the A1. We turn the A2 off and the A3, that's it. Paradon, we're prioritizing the A1. Nothing else really matters. You could turn off the A3 if you wanted to, but we don't really care. LiQWYD Tender, we got to open up with the A1, right? And then we got to prioritize her A2. Coldhearts, we're basically prioritizing the A3, and that's it, right? And same thing for the second Coldheart. So let me show you guys the way I have it built and what kind of speeds you're going to be looking for. All right, so our LiQWYD Tender, we have her built in a shield set. Again, you don't really need it. We just have it, right? We use her actually in some Doom Tower bosses for like Nether Spiders, so it kind of helps out quite a bit, right? Now the speed is going to be kind of key. You can only really have her between 286 and 290. You can't do anything lower than that. So ideally, you want to have her with about 50 to 55k HP. We have her at 63. That's perfectly fine. 2.8k Defense, anything over 2.5 works well. Again, speed, you need to be between 286 and 290. We don't care about anything else. We don't care about crit damage, crit rate, resistance, or accuracy, right? Now, books-wise, basically just need the A3 book. If you have that, perfectly fine. Blessings, you can go with Miracle Heal, or you can take Phantom Touch, really up to you, right? As for masteries, we don't have any. You don't need them, right? Pretty simple, pretty easy for her. Next up is Noorn, and Noorn we haven't built in a Stalwart set. Now, the only reason I haven't built in a Stalwart set is because I use him in some of the secret rooms. I did have to alter his speed a little bit. I had him above 200, but for this, it really calls that he needs to be at a particular speed, which is going to be anywhere between 180 to 188, right? So you can't go too far off of that. So the build isn't that bad. We don't need the reaction, right? As for the, what you're going to be looking for HP, you're looking at about 50 to 55k HP. Anything more than that, welcomed. If not, that's fine. 2.8k defense is what we currently have him. Again, 2.5, just enough to take that initial hit so you won't have to worry about it, right? 181 speed, again, you got to be between 180 to 188. Crit rate, we don't really care about. Crit damage, though, we actually need to stack as much as possible. So you want to make sure he has the highest out of the team. As for resistance and accuracy, we don't care. We don't really need it. Skills-wise, you don't really need him booked whatsoever. Doesn't matter, yeah, right? He's only going to use his A1. So if you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't, right? Blessings, again, you could use Flawless Defense, or you could actually change it to help you out with a little bit from the crit damage and go with Phantom Touch, which I think I may just do that so I can beef up a little more of the crit damage on my other champions. As for masteries, we don't have any masteries on him. You don't need them. Next up is the King of Cheese himself. The reason why Iron Twins got, or Unkillable got nerfed in the Iron Twins is Mr. Paradon. And Mr. Paradon, we got you built, or we got him, I guess I should say, built in a single piece Stone Skin and Toxic. Now, the Toxic isn't really needed. You don't really have to have it, but it does help to kind of use them, right? It's not going to do a lot of damage, but as for, what we have him currently built with, well, we got him at 57k HP. Remember, 50 to 55 is ideal. 3.2k defense, you don't really need that much. Anything over 2.5. 178 speed. Here's the thing with Paradon. You can only be between 176 to 178. So that threshold for speed is so little, right? So you got to make sure you don't go above or under. 176 to 178. As for anything else we don't really care about, we're not going to use anything else on him, right? What do we want from him? We want his A2 book. That is it. We don't care about anything else. We just want him to place that Unkillable. Phantom Touch is going to be one of the better ones for him to take for a blessing. As for masteries, we don't have any. We don't need them. All right, so Coldhearts, right? Basically with them, we have them both built the same way. There's just some minor differences on the crit damage and the crit rate, right? But we haven't built in a reflex set. Don't be the guy to build her in a relentless set. It's not going to work for you, right? Reflex or something else. If you can't get it, that's fine. Just build the stats over sets. Refresh accessories are going to work better for her. As for stats, what are we looking for? Well, 40k HP is ideal, right? Obviously, if we're trying to build a nuker, we're not going to be able to get to that kind of crit damage. And the rest of the stats we need with, realistic gear. 2k defense works fine for her, right? She's not going to be taking a lot of damage, so she should be fine. 211 speed is what we have her. So the speed ranges for you are going to be between 205 and 218, right? So you got about 13 speed to play with. And that's going to be for both of them. Crit rate, ideally you only need 70%. If you want to build 100, build 100. We built 110 here because the other one only has 70. Crit damage, we have 217. The more the better, but make sure that they are underneath your Noorn, right? As for skills, you don't really need anything booked, right? if you're just trying to use a simple team as easy as possible, you're fine. But you do want to eventually book the A3. As for blessings, you do want to go with Phantom Touch, right? The higher the level, the better it is. Now, for masteries, we're going to go down. We took Giant Slayer, right? Multi-hitter. We did take Kill Streak. We are going to take Methodical. We did take Sniper. And then we did take Cycle of Magic here because we want to try to refresh as much as possible with the A3. So that's pretty much about it, guys. You know, again, you don't even need the masteries if you don't want to. If you just want to make it a completely rare team, it works perfectly fine, right? It just might take you a little bit longer. So let me know, does this team make you want to actually farm Shogun? You know, it seems to be much simpler than the Godseeker Neri with Ninja for, what's it called? Sand Devils, right? Which I will have a couple more guides coming out on that one. But yeah, as always, guys, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.